Alright, got our little drinks. Taking our exercise walk today, or exercising for the day. Um, that's pretty much it. Babe is gonna start her own pace, and I'm gonna do my pace. There are some things that I'm going to discuss, but I'm gonna hold off for a second. You want to chime in on my discussion? No. Do you want to hear my discussion? So she don't want to hear it. So that means I have to circle back and once she gets ahead of me, then I'll. Oh, there it is. She took off and did a slight jog. That's enough. What's going on? Y'all, people get crazy. Anyways, sorry. Okay, so here it is, right? Like, these are some things that I was thinking about, and I was like, just allowing my brain to process. Because you know how sometimes you gotta jumpstart your brain to really like think about what's going on. So yesterday, or the day before yesterday, there was a question asked about Kamala Harris, right? And people were like, why is everybody challenging her? Why is everybody making it hard for her? So listen, just from my understanding, and like, there's only one truth, in anything, but you gonna hit it? You gonna smack the dragonfly? Babe, because it comes back to the parking lot. All right. All right.
I really kind of just go back and forth right here, though, because I can see the colors.
All right. All right. The bike trail, people ride bikes on that trail. Go ahead. We don't go back this way. They don't even do nothing to you dragonflies. So thinking about like everything that's like transpiring or things that are happening, I'm doing this because I need a chest. Like, I got to get things rotated. I might end up doing a slight jog here in a minute just to get my heart rate up, because walking for me is a warm-up for me. And I like to do like bursts of sprints to, kind of get my heart rate up. However, but there was a question asked about that. Like, why are y'all challenging her? Y'all don't challenge any other candidate, et cetera, et cetera. And I just think that notion is just, I think it's too narrow, right? I think it's too narrow because you can't, I don't think that you could narrow it down and say, why is everybody just questioning or challenging, Kamala Harris, And I think that every candidate is being challenged in their region. I think that everybody who's in a political standpoint is being challenged at a certain level. I don't think that they're not being challenged. I think that different questions are being prompted or brought to the table for different candidates because it's adequate. Like, I would not ask a toddler, hey, why didn't you go to work today? So I think there's a measurable term or a measurable principle that goes into play here of how you could challenge or question the candidate. It's like somebody applying for, for a school, right? A school application, right? Like, if you're in middle school and you're applying for college, like, will that be suitable or adequate to have a 13-year-old going to school with, 19, 20, 21 years old? Like, it's just, we have to consider what's being presented to us, and we have to consider it at a greater scale, and not comparing, the vice president of the United States to a manager at a local restaurant. And I'm mentioning that because I've heard other people do that, and I just don't think that it's not plausible. It's not plausible. Now, my my recommendation is to say that, okay, if we're going to challenge anybody, let's challenge every candidate, no matter who they are, where they stand, because there's no way that she would be able to answer questions that Joe Biden has, actively operated in that role of the presidency. Like, she's never been in that role before. It's a completely different role. Hey, it's a completely different role that she'll be, entering. So I do think that it's important that when we're talking about the presidencies or the upcoming candidate, I'm sorry, I'm kind of full. I drank coffee and then I drank a smoothie. When we're talking about it as a culture or as a people, like, we're talking about the next person who's going to be operating as the president of the United States of America, which means that they will dictate everything for a human species, like for all of us. And for all of us in America, doesn't matter if we agree or disagree. Whatever decision they make will affect all of us. All of us, no matter what. Doesn't matter your pay grade. It doesn't matter, none of that matters. Everything that they do will affect us, because other countries are not looking at us as individuals. They're looking at us as a whole. So I think that we need to keep that in the front of our minds, that whichever way this goes, it's going to affect all of us. So this is my take on what's going on and how we have less than 60 days to vote for the next president of the United States. And whether you pick whomever, understand that it will be a cause and there will be an effect. So whatever you choose, just know that I do think that, like, the next 2 years, because things change, it's like a repeated cycle. Every time we get a new president in office, they always try to undo the old. Like, we're always looking at the past and not, looking at the present and moving ahead, looking at the future. And like, what's ever already set in place, if it's necessary to undo it, then undo it when it comes to time. But, I'm thinking about running for city council in my city. I don't know. I might, get into this political world, but I don't know. But I'm my art, and that's what I have to say about this. All right. Let me know what you think. Like, subscribe if you enjoy my content.